Today we're going to show exactly what we do on a sprint day. Sprint days are one of the three types of workouts we have. We have sprint days, we have X Factor days, and we have lactate days, but the lactate days are only in the season. So sprint days and X Factor days can be all season or all year long, excuse me. So the first thing that we're going to do is our first speed drill. The only thing we do on speed days are speed drills and some type of time sprint. So the thing that we're going to do first is show our first speed drill. Now a lot of coaches think that these drills are warm-ups, and they can be warm-ups, but we want more. We want these to be speed drills and not just warm-ups. We want to do these all with intensity and purpose. So everything we do will be like we had a big Starbucks before we came, or some type of energy drink. We want to be very caffeinated and very intense. We're not just going to go through the motion. We go through the motions here. We're going to go through this with intensity. Now, when we do the first thing, we're going to call this just a speed march. We are going to do this as fast as we can, and this is one of the things that we do to reinforce the most important thing in sprinting. The most important thing in sprinting is getting your knee up so that you can whip the foot down with incredible speed and force. So the picking up of the feet is very important, and we must practice those habits. You do not form habits by talking about them. You form habits by doing them. We are what we do. So everything that we're going to be doing in these speed drills will be for the purpose of becoming faster. We're not just warming up. Okay, now we're going to progress to our second speed drill. We've done the speed march, and now we're going to do skips. Skips are just like the march, except for there's a little rhythm involved. And once again, we're just really working at picking up those feet in front of us so we can come down with good, quick vertical force. A lot of coaches want to know what is the duration of each one of these speed drills. And I'd say typically it's 5, 6, 7 seconds. You guys will shut down once you start to feel tired in the least, because once we feel tired, we are no longer working on speed. So we want to work on good technique here. One of the biggest things we work on is our arm action, but even bigger than that, our posture. We want to run. If I'm 6'2", I want to run like I'm 6'4". So everything we do is to really get upright and get our hips under our shoulders. Make sure when we skip that our foot is out in front of our body. Do not tuck your foot underneath your hips when you skip. Make sure your foot's out in front. All right, let's do it again. Good. Okay, our third thing that we're going to do is something that everybody does. Everybody does this. We're just going to do high knees with real fast hands, real good posture. Now, that's an important thing I just said, though, that everybody does this. Matter of fact, almost everybody does all of these drills. But I still feel that we're different. I feel that we're different because our focus is intensity and speed, whereas most people have a focus of simply doing them, simply warming up to do something later. We are not warming up right now. We are working at being a better sprinter and developing good habits. I get the question all the time, how many speed drills do you do? We usually do around 10 or 12 every day, and typically it's about the same. This is pretty repetitive what we do. Each one lasts 6, 7 seconds. We usually take about 30 seconds in between to rest and to reinforce things that we want to make sure we're doing. Things like staying tall, good arms. If I see a bad habit starting to form, I try to address that a little bit. So those are the things we do. Now the next thing, I question why we even do this sometimes. We call them butt kicks, but really it's more of a heel lift. We're just really trying to pull our foot off the ground, and we're going to stay real tall. We are not going to butt kick with our feet going to the sky. So we're just going to pick up our heels to the bottom of our glutes and put it back down as quick as we can with really good hands. Stay tall, Michael. The next drill we're going to do is arguably not a speed drill at all, but it's a plyometric basically. And plyometrics always need to be done in small doses, very small doses. But I like to do a little bit of plyometrics every day, or every time at least we meet to speed train. So the thing we're going to do here is just really have a great ground reaction force, pounding into the floor, and we're going to jump over 5 imaginary boxes. We're going to try to go as high and as far as we can, with probably the major focus is on how high you can get. And what I've noticed is there is a direct relationship between how high somebody can box jump and how fast they are. So try to get as high as you can on these. The next 2 things that we're going to do are very advanced. If I was working with 12 and 13-year-olds, we might not do this. If I'm working with a high school team, we're not going to do this every day, because a single-legged box jump is one of the most advanced things we do. But the guys that can really do these well are really, really good sprinters. And I think that says a lot. If somebody is really good at jumping on one leg and can also really sprint fast, I think we want to be good at jumping off one leg. Okay, on this one, we're going to do it with your bad leg. Obviously, you started off with your best one. Now we're going to do it with your bad leg. Remember, our goal is to get over the highest box possible. Some of you may be jumping over a box that's 8 inches. The guys that are really good at this may be jumping 24 inches. But you want to get over the highest box possible. Go. Another thing we do every day is bounding. We do this as a part of our speed drills. Now when we bound, we want to bound high and far. We are not just bounding high, we're not just bounding far, We want to bound like a triple jumper bounds. Matter of fact, we find triple jumpers sometimes by how well they bound. We do not want to spend much time on the ground. We want to get up and really be explosive here. The next thing we're going to do are things that we call prime times. I learned these 10 years ago from Chris Korfist, and we've done them ever since. We like them so much that this is one of the things we actually do twice at every practice. In our set of speed drills, we'll do 2 prime times. What these things are straight-legged bounds. We call them prime times because of a guy named Deion Sanders that used to catch a touchdown pass or intercept the ball in prime time into the end zone. The difference between the way we do these things and other teams do these things is that they do them kind of as a warm-up. We don't. We are literally going to race when we do prime times. We're going to really get after it. Now you have to keep your legs straight, and you got to get your feet out in front of your body when you do these. The next thing we're going to do, we call butt kick and reach. It's really a retro run or backwards run. And the reason why I started doing this was about 12 years ago, a friend of mine named Tom Petronoff, former world record holder in the javelin, told me that he would throw the javelin left-handed as well as right, because the better he threw left, the better he threw right. And this put the idea in my head that the faster we are running backwards, the faster we are running forwards. Now to do this is not easy, because we have to stay tall. You will want to lean forward. Don't lean forward. Stay tall, and you're going to use sprinter's arms and literally butt kick and then reach. But the key thing is that we're going to race. We're going to really run fast. Now this is one of the 2 things we do twice. We do prime times twice, and we do butt kick and reach twice. Okay, the last thing we do is we're going to do a split and rip. A split and rip refers to a start. Now we can do these from a 2-point, 3-point, or 4-point stance. Typically in the off season we go 2-point stance. So we put our left foot typically up to the line and go left hand high. This sets us up for a split and rip. By split, we mean on our first step, we come out and our hands are split apart. Rip refers to the fact that on the second step, we rip through it. So that spread is called the split, the rip is the second step. It's important that all of our guys, even if they are not going to lead off our 4x1, that all of our guys do this correctly. We actually have 2 guys today that are all staters as lead off on our 4x1, and I'm sure they're really good at this. We'll see how the other 3 do. Okay, on this one, we're going to show each guy doing it on their own. So on the first one, Brendan, you'll go. Set, go. Jordan, set, go. Michael, set, go. Nolan, set, go. Kyle, set, go. Now we will move to the most important part of our practice week, and that is the timing of 10-meter flies. When you time a 10-meter fly, you are timing a max speed. You're going to find out how fast your car can go, if it can go 90 miles an hour or 100 or 105. We are going full speed in these. We